Most of the time we're flying high to get the best views with our drones, but sometimes the best views are actually at ground level. Flying at ultra low levels is not as straightforward as it seems, and that is what I'm talking about today. Hello, I'm Ian and I play with drones, and today I'm playing with the Mavic Mini and the Mavic Air 2. I'm lucky enough to live out in the open countryside. Despite my Ian in London profile name, that's where I work. I actually live out in the countryside, and a lot of the fields at the moment have got these amazing wildflower bands going around the borders of the fields. So today what I'm going to be doing is actually trying to fly these drones very, very low level. A couple of points though before you take off. Mavic Mini, if you're using the Mavic Mini, then there's not much of an issue. It doesn't have any collision avoidance system in place, so you're actually free to fly as close as you like because it'll just keep on flying until it hits something. Mavic Air 2 has got obstacle avoidance sensors on the front, underside and rear as well. And the issue there is that if you're flying at very low levels, then obviously you're going to be coming up against some of the plants and flowers that are sticking up. The obstacle avoidance will kick in and it'll come to a crashing halt. So what you have to do with the Mavic Air 2 is actually disable the obstacle avoidance temporarily. And you've got two ways of doing that. You can flip it into sports mode when the obstacle avoidance system switches off automatically. Considering how close we're going to be flying today, that's not the method I would recommend. So the other way you can do it is go up into the camera settings, up in the top three dots in the top right, click on the safety tab and you scroll down and you can see obstacle avoidance. If you switch that off, and then go back to the main camera view, you can see that now the little obstacle avoidance sensor icon is now red, telling you that it's no longer active. The ground sensors are still active and you may still hear some beeping. But crucially, you're going to be able to fly forwards right into some of the flowers and it won't come to a stop. So once you are up flying, there are a few key points that you're going to need to consider. You've got very little room for manoeuvre here, and the idea is that you're going to be skimming over the tops of the flowers in this case, or whatever crop it is that you're flying over. Now the thing is that even if you are only using the right stick and the drone is keeping at the same altitude, the ground itself can rise up slightly, and before you know it, you're actually going to be hitting some of the plants. And the moment that does, the props are going to stop and it's going to fall to the ground. Now if you're quite close, that's not necessarily an issue, but if you're flying out over an open crop field, that could be literally looking for a needle in a haystack. So it's really important to make sure that the GPS is firmly locked before you take off. GPS is going to track exactly where your drone is, and if you are unlucky enough to clip part of the crop and have the prop stop, the Find My Drone function can be used, and that will lead you right to within a few meters of where your drone has fallen. So it's pretty important that you make sure you've got the GPS going. The other aspect is that when you're actually flying, it's important you line yourself up so that you're down at eye level. So you might have to crouch down. And the idea is that you're going to be keeping your eyes on the drone itself as it flies away from you. And you can see here that as the drone is flying away and the ground is slightly creeping up, you can then increase the altitude very, very slightly and keep skimming over the flowers. On the Mavic Mini, you've got cine-like mode, and on the Mavic Air 2, you've got tripod mode. Those are both the modes you're going to be wanting to fly in because they're going to slow down your stick movements and they're going to slow down the turns of the drone as well. So you're going to get a much smoother finish, and it's also going to be far easier to make slight adjustments as you're continuing your flight. The key thing in all of this is speed is absolutely not your friend. You want to be going as slow and steady as possible. When you're flying at such a low level, the subject matter is moving across your lens very, very fast. So the slower you go, the better the results you're actually going to end up with. And if you're using the Mavic Air, when it's back, don't forget to turn the obstacle avoidance back on again for your next flight. Anyway, just a little bit of fun today, showing you that sometimes the best views aren't from getting up high and looking on down, but actually getting on down and looking along. Look, if you like this sort of stuff, as ever, give me a little thumbs up, helps the cause, and if you haven't already, hit the sub and ding that little dong to get notified each time I put something out. Either way, until next time, I hope you're staying safe and sane, have fun and happy flying.